two to discuss is the fact that there's an end of an era in Golden State with Klay Thompson no longer being a Warrior. 13 years in that Warriors uniform have come to a close, and he is now a Dallas Maverick. Tim, when you saw that news, what was your reaction? How do you feel about his fit in Dallas?
I think it'll be a good fit for him in Dallas. I say that because I believe they lost Derrick Jones Jr. I would say they have Derrick Jones Jr. there in order to fill kind of that starting role, and he can just kind of come off the bench and be like a catch and shoot three.
They could be the case with Najee Marshall if they want to go that route.
They could, and Golden State was already talking about bringing him off the bench anyways. I don't know if you're paying him $50 million to come off the bench.
That man got benched last year.
So it's one of those, like, with the offensive talent between Kyrie and Luka and Luka's passing ability, like if he gets down to the point where, hey, look, here's your spots. I know you're going to be here or there or whatever the case may be. They're going to double me or they're going to double Kyrie. Like he's no longer looking at as number 2. Now he's number 3, possibly number 4, especially if you go second unit or anything like that. Like he may be number 1 in the second unit. But with the talent that he has around him, PJ Washington still is enough of a threat. You have, if they start Lively next year, he's enough of, he's not an offensive threat, but Klay is no longer considered like 1 and 2. He's now 3, maybe 4 on a squad where, okay, I just need you to knock these open threes down, my boy. Mm-hmm. Like you do that, play some semblance to these. I don't know about the defense in Dallas at all, but offensively, they may be banking on, hey, look, we just finna outscore everybody, bro. Like we just finna put these buckets up. You either gonna keep pace or you gonna get lost. But I feel like that was probably part of their issue in the finals. It's like, yeah, you can put them up, but if you got somebody that can slow that down and put them up at the same time, it's a bit of a problem. So whatever role, the role that I envision him being is the 3 and semi-D guy who, in essence, will fill their 3-point. It's not a 3-point void, but they kind of did. They really didn't have no shooting outside of Kyrie and Luka. So it's like, okay, you can get that. So then, like, you can fill that 3-point void that they've been looking for. Derrick Jones is inconsistent. Like, he didn't really show up in the finals at all. PJ can knock him down, but I don't know if you're banking on him to be the 3-point threat like that. Like, they needed somebody else to come in and be like a knockdown shooter, and I believe that Klay can help fill that void for them. Again, like I said, defensively, though, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think that 3-point shooting is the big piece of it. Like they just didn't have anybody reliable to knock that shot down consistently. And this is not the Klay Thompson that we saw, during the peak years of the Warriors dynasty. And I don't think for him to be an efficient player for Dallas that he needs to even be that particular guy. Like people were saying like, oh, Klay had such a down year this year, which he did for Klay Thompson. But yet and still with him on a down year, he was still able to shoot, 39% from 3, making him the best Mavericks 3-point shooter that they would have on their team to kick out. And that's part of what you saw in the finals, like you mentioned, Tim, where when they were able to break down the defense on them switches, when they started showing a little bit more help and you're kicking out 2 corners, or the fact that, Boston just gave them all the above break threes they wanted. Like if you want to shoot from the wings for above the break, go ahead, because we know that's not in y'all bag. You can't do that with Klay Thompson. Like Klay Thompson is a catch and shoot specialist, and even at this age, he knocks down some really, really tough ones. So he should get some good looks playing alongside Luka and Kyrie. The defense, Jason Kidd going to have to figure that out. You're going to have to really make sure that Derek Lively behind him works out. And then also just situational. Like if it's a situation where you need more defense, go ahead and go with Najee Marshall instead of Klay Thompson in that situation. Whatever the switch might be. But just having some more flexibility there. I like that move for Klay if he had to leave. I know his dad was upset that he didn't go to the Lakers. But, hey, Klay's his own man. So to the Mavericks he goes.
I personally didn't care for this move for Dallas specifically. Like, I respect everything that Klay Thompson has done in his career. He will always be able to shoot. Like, his leg could fall off and he's still going to shoot, high 30% on high volume. Like, that's always going to be in his bag. Where my concern comes in is, one, on the defensive end, like we've alluded to, Like we just watched this season when the Bucks had no perimeter defense whatsoever, and like they had two of the best rim protectors, and it didn't fucking matter because like if you letting people get to their spots on the perimeter, like they can shut you out, they can drive and kick, they can beat you in a million different ways, and not even have to worry about getting to the rim. So I'm concerned there because like if they do play a lineup of Kyrie, Luka, and Klay Thompson, like that's three average at best defenders, and that's really stretching the concept of average. And then also if you do opt for a more defensive heavy lineup, obviously subtracting Klay from it, like he proved in Golden State that he's not the easiest person to deal with when he's frustrated. And that's without having like the cachet that he had in Golden State. So it's like if you come in as a dude and like Jason Kidd, like we know how Jason Kidd is on a personal level too. Like he's not one to kind of like mince his words and will be like, you're not playing well, get your ass out. How does he respond to that? Like obviously Draymond was the loud problem in Golden State, but like Klay was kind of a quiet problem that they had to manage since he's come back from his injuries. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I'm not as like this is a slam dunk home run move for Dallas. Like maybe I'm just a natural pessimist, but like I'm looking at the downsides and I'm like I don't know if the game necessarily matches what the game is at this point.
I think that's a fair thing to point out, the defense. I love that you brought the Bucks up because yes, that was a big problem for the Bucks not having any perimeter defenders.